Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, the sequel to Tim Burton's 1988 cult classic, Beetlejuice. If you know it, you love it. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice is another whimsical tale set in a familiar but strange world with strange but familiar characters in an interesting way. And broader discussion about farming old franchises just because you want to try to make $1 billion franchise aside, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice is a pretty good movie. Michael Keaton shines as Beetlejuice. He's not in it much, but that actually works. Winona Ryder, who has, I believe, some of the most screen time, has some of the most interesting interactions in the film, and does a great job returning as her character from the first film, Lydia Deetz. Jenna Ortega has very limited screen time, surprisingly, but everything she does just works. And all the worries about her character in Beetlejuice being even similar to Wednesday, I think, turned out to be nothing. And as fun and as decently written and well acted as an interestingly directed sequel to a 30-year-old film can be, there's a bit of a problem. We're all the black people. I'm not the first person to mention this. There are many people who've made many in-depth good videos about Tim Burton, his comments, and his films. If you want a full review of Beetlejuice or anything about that, then I suggest you find somebody who does that and is amazing. But for context, I am going to highlight his comments right here. He said, nowadays, people are talking about it more. Race, obviously. But things either call for things or they don't. I remember back when I was a child watching the Brady Bunch, and they started to get politically correct. Like, okay, let's have an Asian child and a black. Okay, yeah, that's super weird. Obviously, his comments suck. But they suck especially for me and people that I know because, you know, as a person who's like always been alternative and in that culture and really into those things, they formed me, you know, in alternative culture. I worked in an industrial rock, goth music, and metal music scene for a long time, and it sucks because it reminds me of the many times that this has happened to me in person, right? Once was around 2011 when I was promoting for a certain industrial goth social networking website, and I was promoting this moderately well-known artist and this venue over here in New York, and I was like, you know, helping running out of the venue. I had helped set up, I was helping with an artist, all the things that you do when you help promote a show. And as I was walking outside, I heard this headlining artist talking to someone, and he asked why I was there, because I don't fit in. And now I'm not one of those people who takes a lot what people say about me to heart, but that hurt. And the truth is, in my own kind of way, I was popular in that little scene. So it hurt, but it didn't bother me that much to hear some loser, some nobody who I helped book, right? Who nobody really listens to say that I shouldn't be there because I don't fit in. But when he said it, I knew what he meant. And I knew what he meant because I had just gotten off of work and I was doing construction and I hadn't changed my clothes yet, and I'd forgotten my belt. My pants were sagging a little bit, and I knew what he meant because how he looked about me. I knew what he meant because of the way he said it, and also I knew what he meant because he said something else about me later. But it's fine because I wore his words like a badge, like a little badge of honor, because I knew actually that there are people who would come to these events because of me. They came there because I looked like them. They saw me there. They felt comfortable being around me, and that made them come. And I realized, you know, always thought about that. Like, you know, you don't need to make your characters black or indigenous. Your character's love interest doesn't have to be queer, and racial politics don't have to be addressed or centered. But like, why wouldn't you want those things? Why wouldn't you want some little kid to be able to turn on the television and see somebody doing something really cool, interesting that looks like them? Read about them in a book, see them in a picture or painting. Why, in a world where you can literally have a whole website where you can be a little bigot and racist in private or even in public, why would you be mad at somebody else because they want the same thing for themselves, right? Because the question is, why do your characters have... Because the question is, why do your characters have to be straight? Why not have a queer relationship? Why does the weight of the character matter? It doesn't. These things are inconsequential. So why intentionally exclude people who exist in the real world from inside of your media? And so, like all the other black kids who loved The Undertaker and the Hardy Boys and Nightmare Before Christmas, and who thought that the Queen of the Damned soundtrack was one of the best things of all time, right? What we had was Tim Burton movies. You know what I mean? What we had literally were only little pieces of media about or by white people, or movies that weren't good featuring black people. And isn't it more like useful or interesting, instead of having these two separate camps, to have just like one kind of collective understanding that people exist in the real world, and so they should be represented in your media because they exist in your life and they would exist in the lives of fictional people. So anyway, I just wanted to express myself about Tim Burton because I'm frustrated. It sucks that a person that's had so much influence on me sucks. Thank you for being here. I've had a hell of a time recording this video because my camera is still in the shop, but it's okay because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not giving up. I refuse. I appreciate you. Peace.